Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Let's Play Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13. I'm the Mysterious JG, and I've been away from this game for weeks now because of the death of my PC. I guess I'd call it PC. It's my desktop, which is actually, that's the term you use anymore, I guess. It's not actually a desktop. It's sitting there on the floor, but hooked up to my TV, but yeah, anyway, desktop died, and I had a great run, well over 100 videos of giving you 30 minutes of new content a day, every day of this game, which is finally broken. And you know what? Cost me a lot of money to get a new PC, because I didn't just get... Oh, by the way, I do have Nobunaga's Ambition Ascension, for everyone who's asking. Haven't played it very much offline, and from what I have played with it, I'm a little underwhelmed, to be honest with you, but... Back to RTK 13. Yeah, got away from this. When I bought a new PC, I decided to spend some real money and make it as top of the line as the PC that died was when that PC was new. Because it certainly wasn't top of the line anymore. But I got several years of good service out of it, and it was a pretty high-end gaming kind of machine when I got it. So now I have a pretty decent PC nowadays, which I use to, of course, record off of consoles, so like the graphics card and stuff makes no difference at all. Anyway, so yeah, it not that it was worth it to me by any stretch to have a PC die and go through all the trouble of getting it replaced, and but I learned something while I was away from RTK 13 for a while, which was maintaining a pace of recording to have 30 minutes of new RTK footage every week, every day, was getting kind of old. And as we finish off the last few hero modes, I don't know that I feel the need to keep 30 minutes a day going. Now that it was forcibly stopped, I might be able to keep it going, I might not, but I'm not that worried about it. What we've got left to do are a couple of hero modes, and the hero modes have been getting tougher and tougher. The last hero mode was like really fucking hard if you didn't know like a specific trick, which I only got by watching somebody else do it right on YouTube. So we might have a pattern of failure runs for these hero modes. I'm going to hope that's not so. I'm going to hope this next hero mode, or story mode, or whatever the heck they're called, kind of brings us back on track to me being able to squeak by on the skin of my teeth on the first try. We will find out as we pick up... Oh, and I'm closing Dead or Alive 5 last round. You'll find out more about that game later. But now it's time for Romance of Three Kingdoms 13. Oh, I usually do a preview video for my Christmas specials. I didn't really bother to do. I better, if I'm going to do that, I need to hurry up and do it. Tecmo Koei Games and Koei presents, and I'll watch the intro because I haven't seen it in a long time now. Koshibusawa production. If this that's Sho Kurosawa. If we were in if we were at like the NXT arena in Full Sail University, we would all be obligated to sing Sho Kurosawa's theme music out loud, even after it's over during his match. It's because he's Japanese. These characters are not Japanese, however. These guys are China guys. This is a pretty cool intro. I don't like it as much as some of the previous RTK games, but I do appreciate the fact that rather than trying to have it be shinier and fancier with each new generation of graphics, they actually attempt to go with like style. Like the awesome-ass intro of RTK 10 was in fact not pushing the limits of what the PS2 could do by any stretch. But it was incredibly stylish. This one's pretty good as well. And deeply flawed in so many ways. RTK 12 had a bitching intro video. But there's usually the same things to go back to every time. You're going to see Jiao Chan, you're going to see Cao Cao. Sun Xuan gets to appear instead of Sun Ce, who I think was in the previous game. Zhou Yu. The fire attack at Kirby is always featured. I mean, after a while, it's like the same intro again over and over and over. How many ways are you going to do it differently? Unless they just decide one RTK game to do something different, they're going to focus really strongly on like Gong Zoom Kong or something. You know, you pretty much get the same intro every time. Bang a gong, get it on. So we're loading our edit data. I'm going to press the option buttons, and we're going to return to hero mode. Last time, before my computer died, and it's a good thing I actually got all these videos uploaded, the major thing I lost by, because I tend to upload stuff as soon as it's recorded, and then make it public when it hits the right time and sequence. And the big issue that I have is that I'll have videos that have been uploaded, and then it's like, I got them recorded early, and I wasn't ready to upload, and I wasn't really ready to make them public. And then YouTube, I don't know if it doesn't push it out to people, or if it just doesn't show up right on my channel screen. But like Final Fantasy X-2 is having a big issue with that, and Dynasty Warriors 8 was having an even bigger issue. Bobo and I recorded a bunch of stuff, uploaded it, and then never did anything with it, or didn't start making it public. So I had to make it the featured video on the page, or nobody would ever see that those videos went up. But speaking of Dynasty Warriors 8, that is the LP where we actually lost a bunch of content, because the only hard drive I had any of it on was the hard drive that died. The hard drive's death is what actually took out my system. So we're going to have a lot of re-recording to do on that. But you're not here for that. You're here for this. So let's jump ahead with that. And I just realized, not only have I been blathering on and not getting to the game for 7 minutes now. Yikes. I also didn't start my video timer. So let me start my video timer. That's probably why I was able to go 6 whole minutes without actually getting anywhere, because I didn't have a little countdown that I can see reminding me occasionally that I need to get the fuck on with it. You'll forgive me for taking a while to get started, because it has been a long gap, but let's get moving now. With the Yiling in Flames scenario of Lu Jun. Filled with sadness and anger for the loss, losing both Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, Liu Bei marches against Sun Quan, leading an army so great it makes the land shake. On the other side, Sun Quan, ignoring all protests of his advisors, appoints Lu Jun as his commanding officer. The fate of the Sun is entrusted in the hands of a nameless young man. Yiling in Flames. This should be a change. This is going to be a much... Okay, officer of Wu and Sun Tzu's son-in-law schemed with Lu Meng to slay Guan Yu, annihilated the army of Shu as Grand Viceroy of the Battle of Yiling, appointed to defend Jing, and later became something. This hero mode, I think, is going to be a return to actually managing multiple cities and like broader scale campaign. It should be a little bit more similar in style to the Guan Du scenario. Anyway, enraged at the reports of Guan Yu's death in battle, Liu Bei immediately announced that he would attack Sun Quan. Zhuge Liang desperately attempted to stop the advance, but Zhang Fei was assassinated by his own men, with the criminals surrendering to Sun Quan. Liu Bei's army received news of this and immediately opened an emergency council in Sun Quan army. Wait, what? Liu Bei's army received news of this and immediately opened an emergency council in Sun Quan army? That doesn't follow. Please have mercy. This is one order I simply cannot go through with. These were Lu Meng's parting words. The matter has been settled. Yet I can hardly abide by this. These may have been General Lu Meng's parting words, but none of our subordinates will accept this verdict. So Lu Meng in the novel, you read the novel, Lu Meng kind of comes across as being in over his head and relying entirely on Lu Jun for all of his, best ideas. That's kind of the impression I get from the novel. History basically records him as being like a competent general who managed to defeat Guan Yu. And when he went back to celebrate with Guan Yu's head, he was possessed by the spirit of Guan Yu and shouted threats at Sun Quan, and then his body trembled and blood shot out of his eyes, and he died because the ghost of Guan Yu's, his powerful martial presence, came back from beyond the grave to kill Lu Meng. In fact, the reality is that he was pleading illness at the time that he was ordered to go deal with Guan Yu, and in the book, again, the illness is a facade because he has no plan to defeat Guan Yu and is ashamed to admit it, and Lu Jun gives him a plan, so he marches out and takes care of business. Actual history, considering he dies under these zany circumstances right after beating Guan Yu, I think what actually happened is the guy was sick and he went out and accomplished his mission, but died of the illness that he was claiming to be suffering from before he could really reap the rewards. No one will accept having the likes of Lu Xun lead this battle. I'm right here, Caw. Forgive me, I know you have won renown in the battle against Guan Yu. Yet since then you have scarcely done much, performing passively in your stately duties and doing little else than reading books, haven't you? That is, I'm afraid, the absolute truth. A talentless youth such as myself is absolutely unfit for a duty as demanding as this. That act won't work on me. Act? Leading our veterans will be a struggle, and showing off great talent will only cause trouble later. So you indeed to sit and watch, am I wrong? Is my English wrong in this instance? Was I improperly translated? In my eyes, all you've done is given up. Zhou Yu died of illness. His successor, Lu Su, followed not long after. And just a few days ago, his successor succumbed to illness as well. You don't want the curse of the Han, right? Because we're, like, not loyal to the Han. And now our army faces a danger like no other and needs tactics to survive. But our army has come this far because we believed in the people. We are the people's champion. We believed in my brother, in Zhou Yu, and in the Lu Su that Zhou Yu believed in. And because we believed in Lu Meng, we believed in the one he believed in, you. And besides, I've confused myself at this point. In those eyes of yours, I can see the spark. The same spark Lu Su and the others had when they thought of a plan. Are you sure that this glimmer in my eye isn't just my future offspring? Truly, Lu Xun? I do have one plan, truth be told, but would our hardened veterans of battle follow me, one with no experience? Have you ever been experienced? I have. I will slay those who do not. Everyone, listen to me. Lu Xun's orders are now Lu Meng's orders. My orders, understood? Very well. First, we must defend Yiling at the head of the enemy marches. Old yet still fierce. Everyone, please follow my orders. Damn, this game was not translated well. Oh. Defeat the Shu army advancing Yiling. Lu Xun, Shu army marches to invade Yiling with the host numbering 25,000. Alright, so, haven't played in a while. A little nervous. 250,000 are marching on Yiling. Can we defend it with 80,000? Where else could the enemies march from? So Xiangyang is also a frontline city. We will be attacked on more than one front before this is over. Although, unless they change things around... Now, Lu Xun was involved with defending against... after defeating the armies of Shu, and after the death of Cao Cao. And I'm looking for Cao Cao to confirm he's still in charge. He should be. Cao Ren and Zhu Huang. Cao Hong. Oh yeah, Shochun, I guess, is as close to Hefei as this is. We have a city. And Zhang Liao has consistently spanked Wu when they tried to attack Wei. Alright, well, this is ridiculous. I'm not seeing him, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's not still his force. Oh no, it is Cao Pi. Okay, so Cao Cao is dead. Cao Pi is the ruler of Wei, and Liu Bei has become the emperor of Shu-han, which is why they're called Shu and not Liu Bei. Sun Quan has not yet declared himself emperor. I think he does that after holding off this attack. And then Gongsun Gong has a city. Actually, Gongsun Gong's force is pretty awesome. If you look at his advisor, Gongsun Yuan, up there, he's like, hey! So, yeah, Gongsun Gong is, like, still independent of Wei, and for some reason they don't just take him out and take it over. And, in this game, Wei is not actively administering some of the cities in the extreme north, but there's no actual force there, so it doesn't really matter. And for some reason, there's a neutral city, here, but there's no point in us trying to take it over. What I'm curious about next is, what do we actually control? And as I expected, we have a Sichuan district and a Luzhun district. So the Sichuan district has no ministers or anything because it's pretty much irrelevant. The Luzhun district is the only one that we can work with. So I guess that means we don't have to worry about attacks in the extreme south because that's under Sichuan's control. We have these 4 cities to worry about, and any armies that are over here could potentially help out. But troops count 60,000, 50,000. I don't think that this... okay, so what I was starting to say before... Boy, I'm literally going to have no gameplay here. What I was starting to say before was that I am under the impression this hero mode takes us through fending off the attacks of Liu Bei as he tries to avenge the death of Guan Yu and Zhang Fei. Now, if you are familiar with the novel or just played Dynasty Warriors, you know that eventually we launch a huge fire attack, burn this massive, massive army as his. Liu Bei is forced to withdraw. He dies before ever getting back into the capital of Shu, if I recall correctly. We have weepy scenes of him telling Zhuge Liang to support Liu Shan if Liu Shan is able, and to take over for himself if Liu Shan is not. And with Liu Bei's death, the novel essentially enters its final phase. As Zhuge Liang, I guess second to last phase, depending on whether you think there's a separate phase after the death of Zhuge Liang. But Zhuge Liang, once Liu Bei is gone, corrupt and incompetent domestic administration, with Zhuge Liang constantly trying to get the resources together to attack Wei and achieve his dead lord's dream, while Wu basically continues to do what it's done all along, which is to fend off anybody who attacks it and otherwise stagnate. However, one thing that does happen after the defeat of Liu Bei is that Cao Pi decides to try to attack Wu, believing that they've been weakened by their conflict with Shu. And I don't know how much personal credit Lu Jun gets for it. I guess they kind of give him credit for leading the victory, but when Lu Jun and the forces of Wu burn out Cao Cao's navy in a kind of a like mini replay of Chirby, Cao Pi never really ventures to launch an attack again, and the rest of the novel is Shu exhausting all of their strength with failed attacks against Wei until eventually Zhuge Liang dies and Sima Yi takes over Wei and conquers the rest of China with the new state of Jin. But there is a big battle coming up in which Wei launches an unsuccessful attack against Wu, and I don't know if this scenario is going to have us doing that, because if so, we need to keep a little something in the tank to fight Wei off with, and we can't use all of our forces to defeat Shu. Meantime, 250,000, that's not much. I'm not that worried about them. I kind of like we could just let Huangzhong march. I don't feel like we have to worry too much about the time limits in this. Defeat the Shu army threatening Jiangling. I mean, if they're going to march against us, then I'd say we just, we sit here. Who are our officers? Lu Jun must have some kind of fire attack, I'm thinking. Greatly reduce enemy attack mobility, lowers the morale and troop strength. Okay, yeah. I would have him just using, hanging out on a wall and using fire technique to burn them out. Seems pretty simple. Let's save the game, because we haven't actually done anything yet. I've just talked. So this will be our point that we come back from. And I can use up all the save slots, because the last thing I did playing this game was actually finish a hero mode. So from here, if we screw up horribly, we don't have to go through all of the actual story stuff again. So I kind of want to see, are they, they are approaching. seems like we should be able to fight them off with very few losses here. Do we want to let... But, oh, they'll take over Yiling. That's probably not good. Oh, I don't have any officers doing anything. That's a bad idea. Oh, but all we can do is march. Okay, well, that's an interesting point. It doesn't look like it's going to let us play around with domestics, which means that I don't have to worry about how there's a huge strategic thing I need to do where I am building up higher, levels of anything. The city is supposed to be running itself. These are grayed out. Alright. I wonder if I can even... I still have orders left. I need to give it... I can't even play around with materials and stuff. Okay. I don't know if that's good or bad. That gives me less flexibility, but it also implies that I'm not supposed to need to do anything that involved to win. And he's just going to ignore Yiling. That's fine. When they get here, we will defend the walls. Oh, I guess I have to deploy just to fight. Never mind, I had this notion that I was going to automatically... Let's auto-form and see what we get. Elite bows... Elite spear. How good are you with bows? B. So I can get some elite bows going, because I basically want to sit on the walls and shoot at them. And I'll have an elite spear unit and maybe a elite horse unit, and I'm using up all my gold, so that's not good. That's probably why it auto-formed the way it did. What if I get rid of... What if I don't add all those guys? Gold is still down at 1,000 if I do that. That's why I didn't have a bunch of elite units right up front. Gotcha. Okay, so lack of gold's my issue. Try this. On way, battle asks you handle missions in my steed. So this shouldn't be... This first battle shouldn't be too bad. Matter of fact, going into these turtling tactics, I probably don't need to be doing this quite this early. I could, yeah, I feel kind of bad about doing this now. I probably need to just, like, beat the shit out of them because I got them outnumbered. Which means I shouldn't have turned, yeah, I'm really making a mess of this. I shouldn't have, should not have, switched, Zhou-Tai over to a bow unit if I wasn't going to turtle. But now that I see I've got them outnumbered 2-1, there's no point in turtling. I just need to, like, win this thing. But I know that I'll have tougher battles ahead. Eventually, I'm going to be badly outnumbered. Otherwise, I don't know what the hell kind of hero mode this is. Do not lose this chance by being overeager. Stay focused. Now, we are kind of overeager. That's my whole unmoving. Increase attack and defense, lowers enemy morale. Well, we've got the old... we've got Zhu Huang fighting against us, which is always a problem.
请交给我吧，我有话要说。领命，出发吧。
Yeah, Zhu Huang is potentially a problem. Or not Zhu Huang, I mean, oh, Yang Yan too. Huang Zhang is potentially a big issue. But I'm just really tempted to just beat up this camp and see what happens. Alright. So they're not going to just ignore us as we attack their camp. So I kind of want to encircle this guy now. How did my morale end up going down? Or was that his? And if possible, we could do fire technique, but we need a lot. My guys would have to get the back out of there. We need him to get out, and then we can do fire techniques right on top of Huang Zhang, the Dream Master there. Wow, that spread pretty far. So that's kind of a lot of damage. Probably more of it than is ideal inflicted on our own side. But we're doing pretty good, I'd say. We're not losing a lot of our archers. But you can see how this tactic would be pretty good if we were turtling. Okay, now strength and defense. That's just of your unit. What are you going to do? You can increase attack and defense, lowers enemy morale. That's pretty good, actually. What have you got? Horse offense. Increase an allied horse unit's attack. Well, I don't know if it increases yours or not. Dare to stop me? Yeah, I think we are actually stopping you, like right now. I don't know if my losses are unacceptably high here.
是吧？
Cool. Alright, finish off Zhu Huang here. Or, I keep saying that, Huang Zhang. That is the character's name. And we'll finish this little battle and then call a video. Just keep lowering his morale. Can't quite encircle him, unfortunately. Tried to. I will probably end up getting drawn into battle with the camp, but I can at least try. That's probably not going to make a difference now anyway. Yeah, pincer attack. It did. What are you doing? Get up there and start attacking or something. Oh, the shame. Now we could back off. Actually, that's not a bad idea. If we back off, we can let Lu Jun do fire technique. Because at this point... Oh, he is coming after us. Alright. Never mind. He's not going to just sit there and turtle in his base, because all that would do is get him burned out, and he knows it, so... Just take his morale down twice. Our horses sneak around the back of our archers. And pincer attack. Lost about... Looks like I'm going to lose about 10,000 troops total. So I think I deployed 60,000, but I wasn't paying super close attention. So I took out more than one troop for every troop I lost, but I don't know how desperately tight this fight's going to get. This seems like a kind of an easy intro. All units decimated. We see opportunity, we win, that's all. So Lu Jun gets super glory. Tactician must always be sharp, for victory and defeat come swiftly. So we got 603 deeds and no prisoners. Right. Okay. Well, we'll call it a video here, because that didn't seem too difficult, but I have a feeling things are going to get a lot harder before they get easier. When we come back next time, I don't think that 25,000 troops led by Huang Zhang is the sum total of Liu Bei's wrath at the death of his brothers. So we'll have more fighting to do in the next video. I'm the Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.